A Sydney naturopath and former midwife has been charged with putting a baby's life in danger through her alternative treatments. The 59-year-old woman was arrested yesterday after the 13-month-old boy was taken to hospital, severely malnourished and close to death. That matter is now before the courts. But it sparked a wider conversation about the regulation of naturopathy in Australia. And here to discuss this further is Chair of the Australian Register of Naturopaths and Herbalists, Dr. Amy Steele. Good morning to you, Dr. Steele.
Hello, Lisa.
You've been campaigning to change the way naturopathy is regulated in Australia. What kind of registration policy is currently in place?
Well, the truth is, at the moment, anyone can call themselves a naturopath. There is no rules to say who can and who cannot. There's two protections as such that are in place. One is negative licensure, and that essentially means that only once someone has done something wrong, and particularly tragically wrong, are they held to account. And that still doesn't actually stop anyone from claiming that they are a naturopath. It simply catches people who have done particularly bad things after the event. The other thing that has been mostly driven by the profession in the absence of any kind of government protections beyond negative licensure is the independent voluntary register, which is the Australian Register of Naturopaths and Herbalists.
So sorry, please go on.
The issue with that, of course, is that only those who are particularly passionately committed to high standards and quality care will choose to join the register, and it goes without saying that those who are trying to avoid accountability and responsibility would not join the register. And so the public protection in place from a voluntary register such as ours is always going to be limited by things like that.
So you're obviously seeing major flaws in the system.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we receive complaints regularly about practitioners to Arona, and they have never actually related to a member of our register. They're always related to practitioners who are outside of our register.
I'm sorry, once again, please go on.
That's okay. It just comes down to the fact that without some sort of a filtering process that ensures education standards and practice standards are adhered to, and that the title of naturopath is protected, so that most of those practitioners out there who have got the 4-year bachelor program qualifications and who are committed to quality care, the public's able to discern between those people and the people who have no qualifications, have a criminal background, and who are practicing inappropriately without the patient's best interests in mind.
So is there a set of guidelines for treatments recommended by Australian naturopaths?
We have practice standards, we have competency standards at Arona, but we still come back to the same issue, which is that they are voluntary. We've had, and there is no government support, no statutory registration underpinning that. Every single government review in the last 15 years that has looked into naturopathic registration has concluded that naturopaths need to be regulated. These reports have been sitting with the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency, and they haven't been acting on it. Naturopath is the only profession that has been assessed against the criteria of AHPRA and been found to require regulation, and it still hasn't been included in the national registration scheme.
All right, Dr. Steele, we will have to leave it there, unfortunately, but thank you very much for your time this morning.
Pleasure.
Natalia.